Okay, another video on Christian privilege. I saw a listing of all of the a set of marches, and it's entitled March Against Sharia Law. Okay, either March Against Sharia Law or March Against Sharia. Two locations are in my current dwelling state of New York. One was in Syracuse and one was in New York State, and there might have actually been a third location as well. The only group in the United States that has ever, and does indeed now, still have and still continue to push for laws that really are based upon their religious group and their religious beliefs / practices is Christianity. Okay, is Christians. Beyond that, and Sharia is not a Christian word, okay? It's okay, they're basically trying to hint that Muslims are trying to impose their system of laws as if all Muslims are extremists trying to kill and take over the country, which is absolutely not true. So the Christians, okay, and when I mention this in terms of the concept of actual laws, here's one set, because again, I know most people when they hear me mention that laws, you might assume that in terms of, because this has been in the news, laws that have been fairly recently changed regarding the allowance of same-sex marriage and or regarding abortion and contraception. But I'm actually not. I mean, those are indeed matters that definitely, at least to some extent, fall under this category. But I'm actually not even, those are not really even my top things, okay? Because at least I could, to some extent, understand that it isn't just necessarily Christians that do that. Some sects and segments of both Islam and Judaism, and actually other religions, there's actually, I believe, at least one or two other religions that pretty much do the same thing. I can't really just say that it's, I mean, they're the loudest bunch that in the United States are pushing that for that, but I don't actually just blame that solely on them. Okay, I don't. But there's one set of laws that I do completely blame on them, because I believe it's completely proper, is called the Blue Laws. Okay, or at least that's what I know it by the title of. Which is to say, laws that prohibit stores from being open on Sundays, laws that prevent alcohol sale on Sundays, and again, the reason why I say that Sunday business bans and or crackdowns are Christian-based is because, for Jews, our day of rest, okay, but we don't do business, is on a Saturday. For Muslims, their day of rest, where they try to avoid or don't do business, is on Fridays. Wiccans, witches don't have that, one day of rest. I don't think any other major religions, Buddhism, Taoism, I don't think they, and I could be wrong, but I don't believe Sikhs, I don't believe that they have one day a week where they don't they don't work. Again, it could be wrong, but to my understanding they don't. But Christians, The reason why this was done is because the concept is that all good Christians, all good people should be in church on Sundays, and therefore no businesses should be open. Ergo, it's a completely Christian-based, derived set of laws and rules. There isn't really a way around that construct, and they still exist today. There were modifications made to at least some of them in some parts of the country. But it also gets back to the construct of when I try to say I'm not going to go out to a protest or I'm not going to work on a Saturday, why I consider it perfectly reasonable, because my attitude is that if you have these events on a combination of Sundays and Saturdays equally, then maybe I'll understand, I'll bend a little bit, you bend a little bit, maybe, okay, I could, but when I look around and I see that most, if not all of your events are Friday night to Saturday night, which is to say they're on Saturdays, they're on my day of rest, and you don't have any of them on a Sunday, or you have 1 in 100 on the Sunday, that's when I have a huge problem with it. Because in essence, you're saying privilege. You're saying, well, it works for everyone, so it needs to work for you. Get in line. No. 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 You're really delving into a line when you're saying that I need to get in line because everyone else is. No. There's no real moral imperative as to why I need to bend and why I necessarily need to break in order for you to continue to rule. No. I'm not going, I'm not demanding that, all of these protests stop occurring on Saturdays. I'm not. I'm not even saying that for the people that are Jewish that, how dare they, engage in this. Because there are many Jews that won't actually take off on Saturdays, and they will actually work 7 days a week, and they will go out to these protests. And my thing is, that's fine for you. If you can deal with that on you, if, that's your way of practicing, fine. It makes you happy. You're willing to bend. You've never really been as strict. You've never really practiced in the way that I do. There's no way I'm going to force that on you. But for those of us like myself who do, we shouldn't be demanded to just step in line. Because I'm one of those people who, when I go to a job interview, and even before that, if I look at ads for possible employment, if it says, weekends required, okay, if it says Saturdays required, I don't even apply. And if it doesn't give the days of the week that the job, will be required, first thing that I put on my agenda in terms of, questions or / requests of a prospective employer is to let them know Friday night to Saturday night. I don't work then. I'll work a double or even a triple shift for you on Sunday. No problem. I'll work, Saturday, an hour after sunset until Friday an hour before sunset. Okay, which is to say 6 days a week. But, no, not Saturday. And in the same way, I will not go out and to me do a full-on work day of getting out, writing, calling, petitioning, walking, transacting money because I'm going to need to buy something to eat along the way or drink to make it in terms of a walk. And again, most of these things occur in Manhattan, so we're talking about 4 to 5 hours in transit, and then however long the event lasts. Maybe it's just 3 hours in transit if I'm really lucky, but I'm generally not. So, this is a realm, and oh, by the way, another form of this is the fact that vaccines have pig parts in them, fetal pigs. Again, many Jews will say, that's okay with me. I'll make sure that there's the most stringent hechsher, which is to say kosher symbol on my food, but I'm okay with it having pig cells injected into my baby as part of a vaccine. I'm really not okay with that. And I don't demand the quote-unquote most orthodox of hechshers. I just won't eat pork. And I won't eat shellfish. And I won't allow either product into my home. And everything that's not milk, which is to say it just contains a milk or a immediate milk derivative like cheese, although most cheese actually has a kosher symbol on it anyway, as does milk. If it's not a fruit or vegetable, therefore, or bread, it has a kosher symbol on it. So, so I do indeed keep kosher. So, that's why I mentioned the concept that Christian privilege does exist. I'm also someone with disabilities, so I also, beyond the construct of religious and spiritual, physically, I need often that day to truly rest. At least, in short, whenever I'm not at synagogue on Saturdays, I'm in bed until often 12 noon, sometimes 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, letting myself physically rest and recuperate from whatever the week has brought and wrought on me. So, again, I ask people, please consider, please think about it, please, again, research the blue laws and other regulations like them before just, assuming people are being, quote-unquote, nitpicky. Because it's a really big set of problems. And it's a really frustrating thing to see nonsense, to me, being spewed about Christianity being under attack. I can't even say it with a normal voice. It's just so ridiculous to me. These folks who spout this are privileged beyond belief. Because people are still getting killed for either not being Christian or not being Christian enough looking. Which is to say, they don't have enough crosses around them on them. Wake up, folks. Open your eyes, open your hearts. Read. I have a hat that someone falsely confused and nearly attacked me for, because they didn't actually read the hat. They thought I was a Trump supporter, and I said it said "Make America Great Again." It says "Make America Read Again." So read some research, folks. Read up, because there's a lot of material out there. Shalom.